Alright, you lot. Rockstar's about to stick your face in the scanner so you can blow poker in GTA 6. That's where we're at now. Age verification's coming. You'll need to prove you're not 12 just to play the same game that's had your nan calling you a psychopath since 2001. Why? Because UK government finally figured out that parents are useless and decided to put entire internet through airport security instead of telling Karen to get off her ass and parent a child. This inter-safety system, this is punishment for being old enough to know better. You want to buy an R-rated game? Better upload your passport to a server hosted in Luton behind a WordPress login. You want to play online with your mates? Better let some faceless third-party software analyse your face like you're logging into high-security prison, not a server full of stoners and wannabe gangsters shouting racial slurs through a Turtle Beach mic. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks if you're already sick of proving you're not a child just to play a game that's full of them. And by the way, I already brought this down as my calm, respectable alter ego, Scott. Not a Scotty Rant, proper walkthrough of why this kind of data centralisation is a digital IED waiting to go off. No swearing, no sarcasm, just quiet horror of knowing your biometric data is about to be handled by the same kind of company that made TSB mobile app. Go watch that after this. It'll explain why VPNs became UK's fastest favourite app faster than you can set facial recognition breach. See, it's a bit they don't want to talk about. Age verification sounds good if you're a headline-chasing MP or some Daily Mail reader with parental controls on kettle. Protect children, they scream, while building a system that makes no one safer and just pisses everyone off. But let's play pretend for a second. Say system works. Say it really keeps kids out. What you left with? Bunch of adults stuck scanning their ID just to play a game they owned for a decade. Upload your passport. Let some dodgy site look at your face. Share your data with a company you'd integrate her. For what? So little Callum from Croydon don't hear word bollocks online. Mate, Callum is reason half of these lobbies are unplayable. He's not victim, he's parasite. And here's punchline. None of this stops kids. They'll bypass it faster than you can patch your router. VPN, borrowed accounts, fake IDs, spoofed webcam feeds. They've been doing this since Club Penguin started banning them for saying boob. This intel ring, it's not a skill challenge. It's a settings menu, and they know how to break it. You can't win an arms race against kids with free time and YouTube. They'll deepfake themselves into your Netflix account if it gets some extra skin in Fortnite. Meanwhile, resters, real adults, real gamers, get throttled, scanned, treated like pedos for wanting to play GTA after work. And that's just start, because next they're going to want to verify your age every time you enter a game lobby, every time you buy DLC, every time you say something mature. Welcome to Internet Parole. Hope you enjoy logging in with retinal scan just to access pause menu. You want to know who actually let kids into GTA in first place? Look in fucking mirror, parents. You bought them console. You set up account. You walked past that big red 18 on box and said, it's just a guideline. Then you left little Jake alone with a headset and a lobby full of meth dealers and mic streamers so you could scroll Instagram in peace. This inter-game issue. This is a parenting issue with DLC levels of laziness. These same parents won't let the kids watch Saw, but will gladly let them commit digital war crimes in Call of Duty. Why? Because they don't have to deal with it. Console babysits. Game entertains. And when kids starts calling strangers N-word, suddenly it's society's fault. Nah, it's yours. You can't blame Rockstar for making GTA. It's an 18 plus game. It tells you right on box. You won't buy your kid a bottle of vodka and a switchblade, but somehow Grand Theft Auto? That's just a laugh. What we need isn't more ID checks. What we need is accountability. Make parents legally responsible for what the kids play. You know, like how if they skip school, you get fined. Same rule. Your 10-year-old's online with Trevor Phillips lighting people on fire. That's your record now, Karen. And if you don't like it, don't breed. Simple. You want benefits of parenting without effort? You don't deserve a child. You deserve an autoban and a fine every time your spawn logs into an adult server. Parenting's not optional. Neither is knowing what your kid's doing on your 500 quid console. You can't just chuck them a controller and call it screen time. If they're old enough to play GTA, they're old enough to face consequences. Or you are. And here's where it gets real twisted. Because minute you even suggest holding parents accountable, everyone clutches the pearls like you've just pissed on a Paddington statue. Oh, but how can we enforce that? They cry. As if we don't already fine people for not sending the kids to school. As if government doesn't already track your bin day and TV licence with sniper precision. You want to tell me we can't slap a fine on Sharon when her 8-year-old logs 400 hours on Dead by Daylight? You've already got infrastructure. You got online accounts tied to email, IP addresses, purchase history. You know damn well whose kid it is. Same mum who left them alone with a console, no parental locks, and a credit card attached, letting them roam through mature content like it's bloody CBeebies for sociopaths. You want results? Stop pretending age ratings are a polite suggestion. Treat them like law. Make it clear. If your kid's on 18 plus content and you allowed it, you get fined. And if you repeat offend, you get court date. Suddenly that 15 quid headset ain't worth potential criminal record. Cause here's the thing, tech ain't broken, parenting is. And every time a dev gets slapped with "why didn't you stop kids?" should be allowed to hold up a photo or a mum handing a toddler a controller and walking away like she'd just clocked out her shift. If you're too lazy to monitor what your kid plays, you don't need internet lockdown for everyone else. You need a fucking mirror and a chat with social services. Let's stop scanning honest and start prosecuting negligent. You want safe spaces? Start in living room, not in login screen. Now let's talk about absolute farce that is age verification tech. They sell it like it's MI6 grade security, but it's more like putting a sticky note on your webcam that says, "Trust me, I'm 18. Half these systems are built by same developers who thought it were a good idea to store passwords in plain text. And now they want your passport photo, your face scan, and your date of birth, just so you can chainsaw someone in a cutscene. This isn't protection. This is a data breach waiting to happen. You're centralising more sensitive parts of your identity into a system nobody's heard of, run by companies you wouldn't trust to wash your car. One breach, one exposed API, and your digital life gets sold to a guy in a Discord server who types with his feet. Best part? It's all for no. Kids will keep getting in, VPNs are free, fake IDs are everywhere, siblings share accounts, mods bypass restrictions. This into Fortress, it's a fucking wet paper door with a sticker that says "no kids allowed." Only people this crap hurts are ones who play fair. Adults. Gamers who don't want to scan the face to play a title they bought 10 years ago. You're punishing your best customers to avoid blaming your worst parents. And every dev that rolls this out is just waving compliance flag and hoping no one looks too hard at where that data's going. Age verification don't work. Never has. Never will. It's like trying to stop a flood with a mop made of lies and duct tape. These kids are already inside gates. They've been teabagging guards since 2012. And the longer we pretend this system helps, more dangerous it gets. Because we're not just failing to fix problem, we're building bigger ones, one scan at a time. And here's real kicker. Every layer of this scam is just PR cover for people who don't want to take actual responsibility. Politicians love it because it looks like action. Devs love it because it ticks a compliance box. Parents love it because it lets them sleep at night without asking why their kid is quoting Trevor Phillips at a dinner table. It's smoke. It's mirrors. It's bullshit on a subscription model. You think Rockstar really believes this keeps kids out? Hell no. They're no same little goblins still slip into lobbies, buy shark cards, and scream N-word through a serial dusted headset. But now they can point to a login screen and say, "Not our fault, we did our bit." Meanwhile, servers are still full of preteens trying to cyber with strangers using emojis and voice changers. And it's not just Rockstar, it's entire industry. Everyone wants appearance of care without consequences are actually doing something. You know what could actually fix this? Rewriting age ratings as binding law. Hiring human moderators. Letting players flag underage accounts. But that costs money. That takes effort. That might scare away Karen's credit card. So instead we get this charade, where honest gamer gets stripped, scanned, and databased, while little Alfie logs in using his big brother's account and continues screaming slurs over a lobby full of grown adults just trying to get through one fucking mission. And if you speak up, if you say, "Hey, maybe parents should parent," you're suddenly villain. You're bad guy for expecting grown-ups to act like grown-ups. You're monster for daring to suggest that maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't need a passport to play a fucking video game. This ain't safety, it's surrender, wrapped in red tape and sold as progress. And we're all choking on it. So here's where we land. You want safer games? You want cleaner lobbies? You want to stop hearing a child's voice screaming about your mum's sex life over proximity chat? Then stop scanning adults like criminals and start jailing twats raising these kids like feral Twitch clips. You don't fix a broken tap by installing a firewall on a sink. You go after source. And in this case, source is parent who thinks 18 plus means optional, not enforced. One who buys GTA cause little Connor promised not to play story mode. One who can't be asked to set up parental controls but has opinion on loot boxes and server bans. If your kid's too young to vote, too young to drink, too young to drive, they sure as hell shouldn't be online in games designed for adults. And if they are, that's your problem now. Not Rockstar's. Not mine. Yours. Make law reflect that. Make it sting. Fines. Community service. Parenting classes. Alt that makes letting your kid loose on an adult lobby feel like more than just a cheeky oopsie. You do that, you won't need age verification. Join Discord, follow on X, consider a channel membership if you're not one at Muppet still using the kid's birthday as a login password. Smash like, hit subscribe, drop your comments and questions below unless your parent who thinks Red Dead Redemption is just a cowboy game. I'll see you next time, you magnificent.